Good morning, my YouTube friends. Welcome aboard the Cleaning the Worm Bins Day. Before I even start, I just wanted to show you what the bottom tray looks like before I actually start. Well, actually, I did grind off a little bit of it, just scraped off a little bit, just to show you. The bottom one is really the one you want to harvest. Now the worms, I took this out and the worms have been exposed to light, and even when I first brought it out you didn't see any worms. If they're anywhere, they'll be on the bottom, and by anywhere I know they're down there. And so anyway, I just wanted to show you, this is the bottom bin and it will have the best castings. This second bin, you can see, it's interesting. I use Twining tea, and I really believe that their tea bags have a little bit of, must have a little plastic in them, because they really don't break down like a paper tea bag would. You can see it gets real thin, so it must be made out of something, you know, that's a plastic. And I pull these out. So, you know, they go through the tea from the tea bags, but if I forget and leave the tea bag in there, then they just leave that behind. And I'll get some castings out of here. And then on this top bin, this is all my fresh fruits and veggies. We had the end of the carrots. I had 3 or 4 carrots that were still left in my garden, and so I just took the top of it and you know, carrot tops, and instead of putting those in our salad, I just chopped them up and put them in here. But this is more the you would think of it as the raw portions. Excuse me, I'm getting hiccups. And then inside the bottom well, if you will, I will take you inside. This is my back porch. You can see my plants look really good, don't they? I think they do. Everybody's happy this morning. This is the inside. This is the bottom of the well, and you can see this is the worm leachate. That's the worm pee that comes out, and this little thing turns on and off, just, you know, one way or the other. And then here's the bottom well, and that is just full of really moist castings, and also probably lots and lots and lots of worms with their little butts up in the air. And so I'll go through that, and then what I normally do is, like, this is each one of these, those are air holes. It's covered in castings, but it's the air that comes, you know, allows air into the worm bin itself. And then the lid, I don't want to knock it off, but you can see this lid that needs to be washed out as well. And those holes, each one of these has a bunch of holes that lets air into it. So it's a good deal, and I've been doing this since July of 2009, and I really like what I'm doing here. It's just, I'm doing it just for me. It's not like it's a business or anything. We happen to have had a really great rain, so I wanted to fill up my little water jugs here, and about once a week, about once a week, after I've given the worms their goodies to eat, and we actually have banana peel and strawberry tops every morning, along with coffee grounds. And again, if I have anything for dinner that, you know, what have you, that would go in here. And here's a banana peel. I chop them up for them because they have no teeth. And anyway, I know people say, you're really good to your worms, but, I like to chop things up. So, what was I going to say? Oh, anyway, this is the top bin. And then about once a week, what I'll do is I'll take one of those half-gallon of water, and it's just rainwater that's come from my water rocks that I have outside. And I'll take that rainwater and I will pour it over all of this. I also have a ground eggshell that acts as a grit, and I will sprinkle that on top. And when I do that, all of a sudden you'll see these worms come up. Well, all of a sudden in worm terms is kind of like in a day or so. They will come back up and they'll get the grit, and then they'll take it down, and just like a bird uses grit to digest things in its stomach, well, the worms will do the same. So if you come over here, I normally have gloves on, so I'm going to, but I can't do it with gloves and one-handed. So, but I just want to show you that you can scrape the top of this ever so nicely before you ever get to any worms. And you'll take it down about there. See? Did you see the little tail going in there? Where are you guys? Don't hide on me. See there? There's one. Oh. And just that sensation of being, my goodness, hello. Just that sensation, they will tuck back in and they'll go down further. And then once I get really down to the bottom is where I will find the worms. And then I will gather them as best I can. And then I put everybody goes back into the top so that they can work on the food that hasn't been digested. But these castings are just wonderful. You can either use them, I sprinkle them like on top of the surface of my plants, and then I kind of work it into the first couple inches. I could put it over in my, sorry about that, I could put it over in my compost pile, and it would, I'm sure, break things down faster. But normally in my compost pile, all I have is grass clippings and shredded paper. So I try to keep that really clean. And I like using these castings because I'll take it and put it in, a gallon of rainwater. I'll just take a scoop of these and put in a gallon of rainwater, and then I give everybody what I call their spa day. And you can see within a couple days, they just perk right up. So anyway, I just wanted to make this real quick video for you and just show you this construction. This is a can of worms, and it comes from Tumbleweed. You can look that up, tumbleweed.com. I've had it for 12 years. I mean, I started watching a gal, her name is Hannah, and she's on the Worm Monger is her title, and she's on Instagram, and really very informative, and she's down in Australia, and she was showing me her dad's tumbleweed, and it had, the legs had gotten knocked off, and I don't know where he had the spigot or whatever, but apparently boys are rougher on things than girls, and his was 30 years old and mine is only 11 years old. But I take good care of mine because it's in my house. I don't want something dirty or unkept in my house. So that's my reasoning for being very, very clean about this. So anyway, I will say garden what you've got, and if anybody ever wants to try worms, please ask me. I don't have all the scientific knowledge, but I certainly have 12 years of practical experience, and I think worms are just the best pets. They are easier than birds, easier than fish, And so anyway, I will leave you with that. Garden what you've got, and I hope to talk to you and hope to see you real soon. Bye-bye.